Today on the Hangout, we break down the greatness of the number 23, Jordan or LeBron James. It's also decision time for the Raptors in the front office, and we break down the legacy of one of the greatest Raptors of all time, Christopher Wessenbosch. Hangouts! Basketball fans, welcome into Canada's home for Talking Hoops. This is the Hangout. I am Akil Augustine, and it's time for us to break down, I don't know how to describe these NBA playoffs. Let's just say we're going to break down the playoffs. They've been tumultuous, uninteresting. What would you use, Randy Urban?
Not great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Randy Urban, of course. He is my co-host on Court Surfing, and
That's it. I don't know how else.
you produce Open Gym.
A little
alongside
bit
Jeff
here and
Radicka.
there, yeah.
That is one of the best point guards the Toronto has ever seen. Eastern Commerce in the house. My man Rocco Jermaine Anderson. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Wait, we appreciate you coming down. We know you're the introverted type, but we're trying to get you out here, get you yelling. I know Dan's going to help. He's going to frustrate you. His opinions are just out there. Dan Glavin, producer of the Raptors broadcast.
Rock, we're all wearing microphones, so you don't have to yell like he does the whole time.
I got you.
I got you. Out there?
I don't
think
He
so.
thinks Steph Curry's the best player in the world. He stood by that opinion for a long time. He also thinks the Warriors are going to win the championship.
No, I don't. No, I have a bad feeling Cleveland's going to win this year, actually. I've been saying that for a while.
Actually, you have been saying that
This
for a while.
year I've been saying Cleveland.
Those aren't out of left field, though. Those are like pretty standard opinions.
No,
Yeah, they're like 2 or 3 people who have ever come up to me and said, hey, I've seen your show. They say, yeah,
Your show
you're
now,
right
eh?
all the time.
Okay, I see how it is. Our show, Dan.
Well,
Our show.
They ask about you, too, yeah.
Well, I'm with you on Cleveland. I'm
let's
with you
jump
on
into
that.
it.
I'm
They
with
have
you.
questions about Akil personality.
Everyone has. My mom has questions about me. So, anyways, let's move on. Cleveland wins Game 4, 112-99. Kyrie drops 42 points, including one of the sickest ball fakes Jay Crowder has ever seen to close out the game. My question to Jermaine Rock Anderson, who plays the point guard position, if LeBron James was not on Kyrie Irving's team, how good could this kid be? All-star, superstar, where do you put him?
To be honest, I think it would be just as good. I mean, he came into the league averaging his first year he averaged about 18.5 a game, and this year he's averaging a career best 25 points a game, and he's shooting 40% from the three.
But he
while
never
taking the most
really
threes.
won, and we're talking about Game 7s now. This is kind of where he's at. You think he's a good enough player to bring a franchise there?
I think it'd be just as good. Obviously, he probably wouldn't have the platform. He probably wouldn't be playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then maybe we might be comparing him to Chris Paul.
Okay.
As a great point guard who hasn't really done anything.
He's a great player. He's not a generational superstar like LeBron James is. Like, look, Chris Paul can't do it by himself, even when he has Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. Steph Curry can't do it by himself. These point guards that are these high-volume scoring point guards, they're not going to bring a team to the promised land on their own. Those are jobs for people like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, those types of people.
Well, maybe they would have given him the pieces to do so.
Right.
Might possibly.
He's a piece. He's a superstar piece, but he's not going to do it by himself.
I don't really even think of Kyrie Irving that much as a point guard. Like, when I watch you play for the Canadian national team, you're distributing the ball and you're taking the shot when it's required. You're doing it all. Kyrie Irving is a scoring guard. And to answer your original question, I would say he would be as good as he is. We saw this in him before LeBron came back to the Cavs. As good as a player as he is, though, I don't believe that it impacts winning if he's the number one guy, because he really, he did not accomplish much for his team until LeBron came back.
Now, I'm going to go off script a little bit. I suggested this question in our production meeting, but Dwayne erased it from the notes. I'm just going to ask it anyways because I feel like I should.
Rebel.
Yeah. You're probably going to think I'm insane, but is Kyrie clutch or is he inconsistent? Because I've seen these games, Game 7, Game 4, where he is hands down the second best player on the court, no matter which two teams are playing. And then I've seen games where he's not.
I mean, is he clutch? He made a clutch shot in the Game 7.
He's done that,
Final, so I think that
we find games when LeBron scores 11 points, and we're saying what happened to the Cavs, and Kyrie isn't the guy that stepped up.
Well, they just got bored. That's all that was. I think.
But we
we're
kind of killed LeBron for
what
it.
happened there.
We kind of killed LeBron for it. Where
I think
call Kyrie a superstar,
people
and he can't fill in that
people
role.
don't understand that basketball is a basketball game where it goes like this. It's not going to be this even keel thing, you know. I just don't understand how people kill a guy for having 11 points and losing a game, one game in the playoffs, like once. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's how big the microscope is on LeBron and the Cavaliers right now. One slip in a 4-game series, and you know, a lot of it also has to do with the media culture around sports, and there was nothing else to talk about that day.
Let's put the microscope back on LeBron James then. He is 28 points away from passing Michael Jordan as the greatest scorer in the playoffs. That's nuts!
Yeah.
The guy's only 32. So here's the question. Is he
Is he though?
Is he though? Here's the question that I ask. Well, Scottie Pippen called it out first. He said, I wouldn't even put LeBron past Kobe yet. Are you agreeing with that statement, Dan? Oh, I'll let you go.
You're not. Go ahead, Dan.
Dan.
I'm not going to agree with Scottie Pippen on this. And as a fan, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it to you either because I don't want to disappoint you.
Yep.
But the truth is, LeBron has surpassed Kobe in terms of playoff performance. He surpassed everybody at this point other than Jordan and Magic. And I don't know if there's any other comparison for it. He's on the verge of bringing his team to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 7th consecutive year. This isn't to take away from Kobe, who had a brilliant career, has 5 rings, but I think Kobe had a lot more help at certain points. And I do think LeBron has surpassed.
We're taking a look at the numbers. I think you should subtract Steve Nash's 2 MVPs and just straight up give it to Kobe, and then take Dirk's MVP and give that one to Kobe, and then it would be even, because it's ridiculous that Kobe only has 1 MVP. But look at
Nash's MVP.
You know what's
crazy?
We're legit.
You know what's crazy though? People, our memories are so short. I think we even forget a little bit even now how good Kobe was. We're watching LeBron in real time right now, and it makes us go, "Oh, LeBron's the greatest of all time, or the second greatest of all." But
you were talking
let's
about
pump the brakes
inconsistency
a little
before,
bit.
Randy. Kobe had some inconsistent playoff performance throughout his career and had a very low shooting percentage.
Five
he was
rings.
always inefficient as
20
a shooter.
seasons, 5 rings, 20 seasons.
Another thing that
Rings
Scottie Pippen brought
count.
up that I found very interesting was he said it's kind of unfair to compare Kobe and Mike to LeBron, simply because the second Kobe and Mike crossed half court, they were in score mode. And that was their job. That was what they were built to do. Whereas he compares LeBron more to a Magic and himself, whereas they're facilitators, creators, playmakers, but not so much the go-to gunslinger. Do you identify with that statement at all, Rocco?
Yeah, I think LeBron is. I'll compare LeBron more so to Magic, in terms of trying to get everybody involved in the game, and he's always looking to pass first. But statistically speaking, his numbers are better than Kobe's. You know, outside of across the board, maybe outside of steals per game. But you know, LeBron's points, rebounds, and assists are, you know.
Do you think if LeBron wanted to, or he could score every time?
Honestly, I think so.
If he had that same sort of gunslinger mentality that those guys had, that he could average 40 a night?
Oh, yeah.
I definitely
You think
so.
so?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
I think the mentality changes a lot of things, though. If you're a gunslinger like that, you probably won't get the type of assists that he gets. But we
Right.
still have to talk about more things in the game of basketball. We got to round up the Toronto Raptors. A lot of news coming out of Toronto. Apparently, Serge Ibaka's contract's in the works. Lots of interesting things. Lots of draft workouts coming out. So let's find out what they do with the 23rd pick, and also let's find out what they do with that glut of money that apparently they're committed to spending. Luxury tax season. We'll be back with more Hangout. Shout out Dylan, man.
Dylan.
Respect to the Canadian kids.